राजीव को कोरोना हो गया, ये तो तुमसे फिर दूर रहना चाहिए, उनके घर की तरफ मत जाओ, ठीक है। अगर वो ठीक भी हो जाए फिर भी हो सकता है तुम उनके पास मत जाना, किसी भी चीज़ को छूना नहीं। अगर वो मर भी रहे होंगे तब भी उनकी हेल्प मत करना, ठीक है। ये है पेंडेमिक सिचुएशन अभी का। आजकल ये बहुत कॉमन चीज़ हो चुकी है, मैंने खुद देखी भी, एक्सपीरियंस की ये चीज़ कि अगर किसी को कोरोना या कोई भी चीज़ क्यों ना हो जाए, इस पर्टिकुलर इस टाइम पे बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, कि अगर कभी किसी को कोरोना हो जाए, कुछ भी हो जाए, हम लोग उसके पास नहीं जाते हैं। अरे इवन कि अगर उसको, वो मर रहा होगा वो बेचारा, उसको अगर पानी पीना होगा, हम लोग उसको पानी तक नहीं देंगे। ये आज की कॉमन एक सिचुएशन बन चुकी है। तो इसी चीज़ को समझाने के लिए हमारी मैम जो है अजरा मिस एक बर्निंग टॉपिक लेके आ रही हैं कि इस पेंडेमिक सिचुएशन पे हमारे साइकोलॉजी पे, हमारे दिमाग पे, हमारे लाइफस्टाइल, हमारे दिमाग पे, हमारे सोच पे इस पेंडेमिक ने क्या असर किया है। आइए सुनते हैं अजरा मिस की जुबानी।
Hello everyone, I am Ajra Bait Mazumdar and I am going to present on the topic Impacts of Pandemic from the Psychological Point of View. So in this presentation, I will discuss how the pandemic has affected the different age groups and how we can overcome the situation. First of all, let's know what is a pandemic. An outbreak of a disease that occurs over a wide geographic area and affects an exceptionally high proportion of the population is known as pandemic. What are some examples of pandemics? There have been a number of pandemics since the beginning of the 20th century. The H1N1 pandemic of the 2009, the Spanish flu of 1918 to 1919, as well as flu pandemics in 1957 and 1968. And now the present COVID-19 pandemic of 2019 to 2020. Among the best known pandemics is the Black Death, a plague which spread across Asia and Europe in the middle of the 14th century. Now the question arises that when does an outbreak become a pandemic? An outbreak is a sudden rise in the incidence of a disease and typically is confined to a localized area or a specific group of people. Should an outbreak become more severe and less localized, it may be characterized as an epidemic. If it broadens still further and affects a significant proportion of the population, the disease may be characterized as a pandemic. What is the difference between a pandemic and an epidemic? An epidemic is an outbreak of disease that spreads quickly and affects many individuals at the same time. A pandemic is a kind of epidemic, one which has spread across a wider geographic range than an epidemic and which has affected a significant portion of the population. Now we come to the topic, knowledge acquired from previous epidemics. So we know that there have been many epidemics and pandemics in our history. So, what is the knowledge we gather from our previous epidemics and pandemics, and we can use that knowledge to deal with our present COVID-19. So, let's see the knowledge that we have acquired from the previous epidemics. COVID-19 is the first global pandemic of the social media age. Yet, for all that is new about COVID-19, this disease still behaves like any number of prior epidemics. It is, for example, similar to the 2003 severe acute respiratory syndrome SARS outbreak, an event which created a number of lessons for our present moment. So SARS was a similar outbreak which took place in 2003, and that event has played a great role in our present scene. SARS was in many ways the best case scenario for responding to a global infectious threat. The spread of SARS was contained fairly quickly by public health efforts, chiefly through the widespread use of quarantine. But even this relative success still had consequences for health, such as it was found among quarantined persons a high prevalence of psychological distress, including symptoms of depression and post-traumatic stress disorder, also known as PTSD. So even if we can halt the physical spread of a disease through the expeditious use of quarantine and social distancing, we still have to contend with its mental health effects in the long term. Now, what are the long-term effects of COVID-19? The mental health effects of COVID-19 can shape health for many years. We have been focusing on saving lives and mitigating the short-term consequences of COVID-19, but the long-term consequences may be equally, if not more, important. While it can be difficult to take the long view when the events of the moment are so compelling, it is necessary if we are to ensure the steps we take now are in the best interest of the public health. Once this pandemic passes, now our task moves from one of response to one of recovery. Now, effects of COVID-19 pandemic on the different age groups. Now I'll discuss the effects of COVID-19 pandemic on the different age groups of our society. First of all, its effects on senior citizens. According to the protocols of the COVID-19 pandemic, the senior citizens should stay in their respective homes and as much as possible should remain healthy as they are an easy prey of the novel virus. So this novel virus can easily attack the senior citizens as their immune system is weak. Hence, they are becoming isolated and lacking support from the family members. They are advised to remain in their homes, isolated from other family members. But what is the problem here? They are getting alone. They are becoming alone day and day, and this is creating much mental problems. They are continuing to struggle during the pandemic. As the pandemic rages on, so does isolation for many seniors, and while in isolation, they tend to develop negative thoughts, assuming that death is near and their time on earth is over. This pessimistic outlook on life disturbs their mental balance, plunging them into depression, anxiety, and ultimately results in failure of their body system. So how can we help the senior citizens of our society and keep them healthy? Love makes the world go round, and it can help keep a senior's depression under control. Show aging seniors that you love and need them, listen to them, and hug them often. So, isolation does not mean that they have to be alone for the entire period. We can pay frequent visits to them and make them listen to. We should listen to them. We should hug them, and we should show a sense of purpose that they are important to us. Expressions of love and especially important for widowed seniors. The widowed seniors need more support and affection to deal with their grief. And along with these, we also need to see to that if they are sleeping properly, we also